John Stark here again with head coach Brian Anken for his weekly question and answer session. Good to see you again, Coach.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
And, let's get right down to brass tacks here. Coach, your first question comes from Robert in Severn, Maryland. Coach, during your game last weekend at Navy, I noticed some patches on the team's uniforms, but not all of them were the same. What do the patches represent?
That's a great question, actually. We just started this year for the first time. We have such a high rate or a high percentage of our players that are going to be accepting commissions once they graduate that once they sign their commissioning paperwork here at VMI, we actually put the branch patch on their uniform. So you'll see we currently don't have any Air Force guys, but we currently have guys in the Army, Navy, and Marines. And then for all the players that either haven't made that decision or will decide to go on and not commission after graduation, we're a big supporter of the Wounded Warrior Project, and they've provided us with patches for our uniforms. So it's a great tradition that we're excited to start this year. It's something that we look forward to carrying on for a long time. We're very, very proud of the percentage of our guys that are going to go on to protect our country after graduation.
Coach, it was a tough game on Saturday with the 14-7 loss at Navy. What's the one thing you and the coaching staff took from that game and will look to improve on with the team this week? And that is from Mark in Walterboro, South Carolina.
Well, Mark, I appreciate that question as well. I think it is every loss is a tough loss, and we've been humbled into the fact that that what we came into that game thinking we were good at, I thought that we did very well. Some of the things that we felt we needed some extra work on, we probably need more work than we anticipated, but that's what those early season games are for. We just weren't as crisp in the clearing game. We gave up 10 clears. We went 18 to 28 on clearing, and even with winning 5 additional faceoffs, that gives us a 5 possession gap right off of the bat. That's just tough to make up for. And when you're talking about a 7-goal game, you're looking for little bits and pieces that you can have to maybe get back. And I mean, in all honesty, 10 failed clears comes back to bite us. Some of our decision making after we successfully cleared the ball, some lack of possessions on offense. But on the bright side, we took so many great things out of this. I really think that we made good adjustments defensively. I thought our face-off settled down in the second and third quarter and gave us an opportunity to rally back. We just got to stop digging ourselves that big of a hole early on, and it's been a huge point of emphasis this week at practice.
That's great. And once you guys got settled, you looked a lot better going into the second half. Good afternoon, Coach. I know a lot of teams are big on routine. Do the Keydets have any pregame rituals? How about the coaching staff? And that's from Sam in Leesburg, Virginia.
Well, that's a unique question right there. We're a place that we're a place that believes in a ton of routines, as you can tell. Our daily routine is pretty well structured, and the way that we practice and the way that we do our pregame routines. We have 2 that are pretty special here. One involves who carries the flag out. We have a group of our players that we sit down the night before the game, and we ask for their feedback along with the coaching staff as to, who really stepped up to the plate that week in practice, who made us better, who represents the program on and off the field the way that we expect them to. And they honor us each game with bringing our flag out to the field. They'll lead us onto the field every time when we sprint on. They'll be carrying the VMI flag. That's really a big special honor and tradition that we've put in. Me personally, I'm always trying to cover up my baldness, I guess, or something, maybe take a little of the glare away, but I was actually given a patrol cap, an Army patrol cap, last year from one of our graduating players. And one tradition that I started is every player that I've had the privilege of coaching, no matter where it's been, but especially here at VMI now, that has decided to go on and accept a commission into the military. They actually give me one of their name patches, and I wear that, and I rotate that from game to game. I want those guys to know we're always thinking about them, and we really appreciate what they're doing. So I know they appreciate it. It's a great honor for me to have the ability to do that, and that's a new tradition that we had started this year, and something I'm very proud to continue doing.
It's also a great connection to have with your alumni as well.
Yeah, very true. And we keep in touch with those guys. We get great emails from them. The guys that are overseas right now are always very involved. When it's available, they try to watch live stats or any live games that they can. Most of the time, they're hearing it second and third hand a couple days later. But they're just such an active group, and we want them to know that we always appreciate what they do.
And our next question comes from Debbie in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Coach, what will be the biggest challenge for VMI playing Army on the road this weekend?
Well, I think the first thing is it's a little longer road trip than the trip to Navy. Navy, and it maybe still took us longer than we needed to get up there, but the trip to Army's a bear. That's every bit of 8 hours to get up there, so it's a little different travel protocol for us. It's a little different scenario. We're going to get out there and practice and be away from home for a day, going through our typical practice routine that we would do the day before a game here. So, there's all those elements. I think we're excited in the fact that we have traveled once and we've gotten some of those quirks out of the way right there. Some things that we always run into, whether it be dinner planning or meeting up with alumni or whatever the case may be. We've got a great routine down with that, but being a longer trip is going to be number one. Playing an Army team, and they're actually playing today, but playing an Army team that is very, very good, very tough, coming off of a tough loss is going to certainly be a challenge. But I look at it and I think we're both in exactly the same scenario because we're coming off a tough loss, and we'll certainly be ready.
And that game will be at noon on Saturday up in West Point, New York. Coach, our final question comes from Brandy, just down the road in Waynesboro, Virginia. Coach Anken, I saw on your schedule that you guys played defending national champion Virginia on Tuesday. What's it like coaching against the only other Division I program in the state?
It's great. I would expect nothing less. It's our closest game of the year. So with the amount of 9 and 10 hour trips that we have on our schedule, playing a game that's that's about an hour down the road is certainly a nice advantage. Being the defending national champions, certainly add another element of expectation for us. It adds an element of preparation for us that we would take with everybody. I really think the biggest thing for us is it's just a great opportunity. You're talking about one of the great programs in the history of college lacrosse that we get an opportunity to play every year. And, those guys down the road are pretty good. And if we want to get to that level and continue building our program, those are the games we need to be playing because we need to gauge from year to year how much progress our program's made, where we still need some work on. I expect that game to become more and more competitive every single year. We've certainly gone out and recruited players, and one of our big recruiting pitches to every one of them is, we need guys that are going to help us beat the other in-state team, and that's what we've been going after, and that's what we expect out of our players.
Great, thanks, Coach. And we look forward to seeing you guys up at Army this weekend. And be sure to email your questions to lacrosse@vmi.edu by 9 a.m. on Wednesdays, and Coach Anken will take the top 5 and answer them for our video segment. As always, be sure to follow VMI Lacrosse on Twitter at VMI Lacrosse and on Facebook at facebook.com/VMI Lacrosse. And for all your updates on VMI athletics, please check us out on the web at vmikedets.com.